Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, The Novel Nana. I'm Bex. Here on this channel, we talk about all things writerly related. So if that interests you, stay tuned and we'll get right into the video. Okay, so today's video is going to be on that Bootcamp series again, and this topic that we are discussing is on goals. Now, today's video is number 3 episode, and this one will be dealing with why or how goals fail in our stories, or why our stories fail. It's usually because of the goal. Okay, so if you remember, we kicked off this whole boot camp series, getting back to the basics, those building blocks of story. We kicked it off with my first video on goals, which was what are goals and why do we need them? We followed that up with my second video in this series, which was what was the purpose and the differences in different types of goals. And I think I gave you 10 different types. Today's video is all about why goals fail. So I'm going to go ahead and walk you through my whiteboard over here. And you know the drill. I will explain as I go. Okay, so again, this series is going to cover some of those basic building blocks of story. And today we are talking about goals. I have 5 reasons that I have written down of why goals can fail, or why your story is failing could sometimes be the goals. So, the number one reason why a goal could fail is because it's not fueling the conflict, or it doesn't prompt that definitive action or agency for your character. Number 2, it doesn't make sense for your character to have that sort of goal. Or maybe the goal keeps changing, or it causes your MC to meander throughout the story without any real set direction. The number 3 reason why a goal could fail is it lacks meaning or personal investment or stakes for your character. Sometimes this could fall under that group versus personal goal, but we'll talk about that later. Also, it could have no rhyme or reason. That could be a reason why your story isn't working, because that particular goal may be failing. Number 4, it isn't strong or specific enough, or it could be too easy for your character to attain. Also, if it doesn't hold enough value or weight over the MC, the plot, or even the outcome of the story, that's another reason why it could be failing. And the number 5 thing of why a goal could fail in your story is it because it is unclear, or maybe it is just unrelated. So if there is no thread tying or relating back to the plot, theme, or conflict source, that could be one of the main reasons why it is failing. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and drop down here because I know you can't see the rest of the board. But again, guys, I'm going to go over it with you. So how to know or look at your pitfalls and see why your goals may be failing or why your story is failing is look at those pitfalls. Ask yourself, is your MC, are all of their scenes basically consisting of mundane, like a mundane list of tasks, like ordinary things like waking up, getting dressed, eating, showering, go to school, go to work, coming home, go to bed, etc.? Is it like a normal life situation? Or are they maybe spending a lot of time with internal dialogue or internal thought or contemplation on their life or self or situation? Do they have lots of dialogue but little to no action? That could be a sure sign of your goals failing. So, onto this, guys. I'm going to give you some little tips here, and I'm hoping that they will help you in understanding how to fix that situation of whatever the case may be, why your goals and your story may not be working for you. Okay, so up here I've done a little doodle. I don't know if you can see it or not, but I'm going to explain it. So I have the story pie, And our ingredients for a good story is goal, characters, motivation, conflict and stakes, and plot. So if we think of our goals being the apples and butter being the characters, maybe sugar for the motivation, and maybe for the stakes or the conflict, maybe that's our cinnamon, and maybe the dough or the crust is our plot. When you combine all of these elements, it makes a good story. But if you only have one, say, ingredient, one, like say we only have the apples or the goals, it does not make a story just because you have a goal. Sometimes you have to have another ingredient. But since we are focusing on the goals, I'm going to give you a little rundown, okay? So if you remember that a goal plus a flaw and a motivation, this will equal why the readers will care about your story and about your MC. Characters plus a want or a need equals the goal. A goal plus opposition, internal or external, equals your conflict. Now, that conflict plus a goal will give your story direction, the plot. Goals are important for scene and story structure. Goals are what gives meaning to the scene or guides the scene, giving it direction. And without them, your characters just kind of meander hopelessly and aimlessly without any rhyme or reason through your story. And it kind of means they have no point. Story's not worth reading. But goals and the character's pursuit of that goal or the reason behind that goal, that's what is going to keep your reader invested and make them connect or care about your characters and your story. Now, the pursuit of the goal can both make or break your plot, and goals can stagnate or propel your character forward. Now, you also need to think about reactive and proactive goals. Maybe your story might be failing because you're only having reactive goals and not giving your character a set proactive goal. Okay, goals can also fail when they are not serving a correct purpose. So know the purpose, identify the problem. What exactly is missing and where? If it's your story's flow, or maybe the structure or momentum, this would be fixed with a personal goal from your MC. You need to concentrate on what your MC wants or needs and ask, why do they need it? Why does it matter so much? And what would motivate your character to pursue that goal in the first place? Because they do need a reason. And ask yourself, what would happen if they fail? Those would be the stakes. So what would happen if they fail? And why should a reader care? And this is that risk versus reward, okay, for your goal. Now, you also need to ask what exactly it is that your MC wants or need, and you do need to be specific. Giving your characters a specific goal will help with the non-clear or unclear or unrelated aspect of goal. So that can fix that. Now, your goals should also be measurable, actionable, relevant, immediate. It should hold some sort of weight, shouldn't be too easy to attain, and it should also be tangible. Okay, so not like wanting world peace or whatever the case may be. Also, knowing that specific reason and why it makes sense, that reason behind the goal, that is your character's motivation. And sometimes it's not our goal that isn't working. Sometimes it's the reason behind the goal or lack thereof. So lack of motivation. So sometimes, like I said, the goal may be fine, but if it lacks motivation or that one ingredient, that's what could be wrong. It's just missing that other ingredient. So think about the ingredients in your story and think about the different types of goals that we've discussed in video 1 and 2. Think about all the reasons why your story is failing or not connecting with your readers. It probably relates back to their goal. So identify the problem, fix the issue by giving it a specific reason. Giving your character a specific goal, a personal goal, not really a group goal, but you want to, even if you do have a group goal, you still want to have a personal goal for your character. But doing this is what's going to propel your story. It's going to make it more interesting. It's going to hold your reader's attention so much better. So just think about the things that break that set of goals, and why it could not be working, and then just flip it on its head. Give your story the missing ingredient, whatever the case may be. That's all I have for you guys today. Thanks again for watching. I do so appreciate each and every one of you. If you got any value out of today's video, please be sure to leave me a like and comment down below what you think of this series so far. And if you have any questions, you can always tweet me. You can tweet me over on Twitter at Nana_novel, or you can get a hold of me on Instagram and ask your questions as well at Bex the Novel Nana on Instagram. Okay, and stay tuned for next week when we will be talking about examples of story-related goals. I will give you lots of examples, and hopefully you'll be able to use them in your upcoming stories. All right, guys, thanks again, and until next time, happy writing. Bye!